ya mama tenase na ya mama ha GBK fue adia chia bia ya wo chafo mu yeni o GBK fuo si ya pe ya ho ani yakọ asaba betenase bio o yakọ asaba betenase bio GBK fuo ya mama tenase na ye free neat 100.9 FM so na ye ba manaswe yan kan tuatua maso na ene eye adwada ai obubu abusumi ni yewram yebubu enche ni yekọ ahinimi yefira ahinimi na yekọ eye opanima na fe yakọ na Yesu yakọ akodi na woda no na fe ni ye de yakọ opepon na opepon ne de woyo agese na ni nyina mu ya frame ADAKABRI Mamudu Osioma na misini yako karata me na tenase amansan chiame staff sergeant kwabena mavo Harrison Ford awa so watenase a yede ensempolo no yede eba beba panyini kwajo damiado as usual yese no kura chese wasi as usual no kura de kunoro panyini kwajo damiado as usual ojina mu pintin ene wo him franka no Pentecost fire ene jese ye nanu makion kumasi asokwa ene nura no wote anu nti wono ene production nyina esi na aso ana eye me wofa ase magere osai ajiman ebo no chi enso so edom abna frema bankro the only female member of the all male dominated crew wono nso so otuamu say ye yabe say ye sisiriwa ni nyina kire say otuamu social media handles flooded everywhere say Facebook say YouTube abrafrema bankro wo hwe ama bibia timi akọ enu akire no nso so no ne de asedam engineering group achuagbo worker watiakwa na jare na nabu aje adasankroma nso de yesa ne mrane se sempro na fe ye facilities group no omo nso de na ye de asedam big solo ena dada ena yaw ai gofre ye friend no you brana na fe nso so no mapuna ena DJ Bosco na Mills nso ya sanmrane sen hey na ye hunu se de ni nyina besi afa na ede akro ubetumi a WhatsApp ya nsema ye de bai so on 050 600 0909 050 600 0909 yabajebre ni atimi akenkan ede amamu kabne wafa nie wafa kwaba sa na watu ye wiye aya enra kwese da bi nya na watu na wiye na watu de dikan kwese da temi sa wati atase wusu esi Ghana da bia wusu se kin atra wo say santi no ati babia of what ye all the regions at sa danwa Israel for kofa apamada kanu anu wo mudi ku omukromu no tase omu bo se ma asase kura wo so ya ayo wo se bokase pa over wo mu aye donation wo mu aye party wo mu ani ade wo mu about live band wo mu about sound system na eni die ni ya massive na die tamu kura ya announcement na si wa tantebantem na udum se cake mako 104 enu mutwam I tell you aye ohini ba mutwam we bongo ba e wa UK ebi twam e wa New Jersey ebi etwam e wa Cincinnati ebi etwam e wa Paris ebi etwam wa Ghana cake mako 104 excellent representing every one district one country na wodi atie mampani kura duru wotumfo kro bia sante kotoko yine won no say tie di oka no say wo say wo mano we su ope ena we nso die o stase anyam neba kitie wo say Kotoko hine ni mu.
Yeah.
Se wo hwe seating arrangement na e woman hia no.
Yes.
Mampanyini ti wo no.
Yeah.
Na ne nifa so.
Yeah.
Ashanti regional minister.
Yes.
Na otoa no so transport minister of Resiama.
Yeah.
And otoso miensa o mampanyini nifa so no so na asenso boache.
Yeah.
And otoso nan kandapa.
Yeah.
Enti oba ne nsabonkum so no.
Yeah.
De no oti immediately ne nsabonkum so alanchematene.
Yes.
And de no oto alanchematene no so ohine bo so afiri akoto. And de oto aso miensa no so wuntumi. Enti waka nifa so wieye no. And oba bonkum no so. Na bonkum no so no waka wuntumi.
Yeah.
Wa say chairman 1.
Yeah.
Wuntumi.
Yeah.
And nakotoko hine enwenweye. And was say wahine. Wonana chiame. They just say chiame akoto so no. Why something chiame. Into wonana ni. No cause wonana ni no say. What's up with the president? Just said also free akoto. Wani Ghana mampanyini ena edabda ba akumo London. Ena kotoko hine so ehon no so ko. Ena omu nanim ba bia obukoko wurawura. Edi che se wa mu miensa no. Tam ka se was no person the president no. Ena ma kotoko hine kai bibi. Ena no mask no. Ena abena omu miensa nyina atuem. Na je se mu amusiri bie no munim ade kura sa miensa no. Omosire. No omosire. Se onu so person the president. Na just Ghana benya first president do Russo. Na way. And what was so na ose otumfo. Opanyini pa baako.
Yeah.
Ose opanyini pa baako.
Yeah.
Wano de wo free so person the president ne enye ne.
Ache.
Na
anya so obi na car go pushing so wonko.
Was you free person be the president enye ne.
Person obesesa Ghana no. Enye ne. Ache.
Na trade minister wa monidin na obo adwuma pa the emphasis no ofri pese obedi mampanyine no enye ne na nature say wodi ko free 92 emwa young executive forum omode bua professor Dubuahin it is not lost on an experienced politician to say Akufo-Addo.
Yes,
he knew what he was talking about. And MPP for no from the days of Sunyane no omunya yi leader pe na omuyi potential leader the time when womu ko Sunyane no a womu kokko yi John Kofuo no the potential leader elect was Akufo-Addo.
Yes,
and no nti and from June 2005 right womu shasie the late Ohini Newman researcher extraordinary nyamemfa Ohini Newman krensie womu ni ko see kanda ha say Swiss embassy honomo no ekosi was say ye new fritete that was in apparent reference.
Yes,
and on bebe je dan ewo odo rights actually ha say phone right tata no ye foreign minister no enti ebasa no let the emphasis was that days no and nana mampanyine wakai and waka say wo bo adwuma no obo adwuma no okosane mu ewo Ash FM time waka say the emphasis in the second term no industrialization.
Excellent.
And agric
and
industrialization agric no so what ye interview any Dr. George Dumfe 2019 and Dr. George Dumfe I can't say we say see it me hana say agric and manufacturing industrialization na lower interest rate is and then I'm under 25% na face no access to loans no so eba e dia na nipa comedy no ne more jobs more cash
wavana atie mampeni interview baako o say I can't have a favorite to break the 8 for the MPP. My duty is to hold the balance. But the decision has to be that of the party. And whoever the party elect, that person is who I will support and God willing. If I do have the strength, I will vigorously campaign for the elected individual.
His
Excellency Nana Adodankwa Ekufo.
Asema wakache kwa mi adinkra no pay.
Yes.
Ewo pure FM eno no.
I tell you.
Na kwabena eno kano anu wo kano.
Yeah.
Na mampanyini ni remfi asem.
Dabi.
Wakai September 2007. Ena yekwaka say John Kufuor supporto a particular candidate bi.
Yes.
Enu nti omo convene meeting. Ewo the Den Osu Castle. And all the 17 aspirants atiti won mu bie. And me papa kwadwo chirimpiani ti mu bi. And John Kufuor ti wo bi. And the then National Security Minister Francis Poku Francois enti ho and the kokoba say John Kufuor Emma Francois chair sa meeting no. Na munsem profuti sisifom obi antimi nkasa enti Jake otanka obi chabilamte ene timi ka bibi ni nyina ne se tasari ye de sobuo ekobo John Kufuor se wono na ama enoma akofom wono na chese wo support edipa baako enti wono na ema Discord aba party num it is the National Security Minister brabehwe na beka sa asem enti it is not lost on the president time waka say he can't have a favorite otuaba when we do better amano but surely enye wono a party ni na achechire ni nsashe na chi he can't hand no say I can't have a favorite
there be no what I want to me have a favorite because etire wo wa yense kotobjete etire wo wa yense kotobjete won say ofa ade a eye no kura de o ka aya wo nsuro ho anya no na maka wose nipa no ofiri pa de no ate enti Usha
apia minkaso capture with the book num.
Yeah, usha a weekend no. Crop ya kotoko yina yimfie. Endorsement ya mampeni de maye. Usa say ne birthday omuti ya. Awiase nyina woso ya. Ofa.
Amuye no nyina sa kwatena so dia mu askwa makion.
Medema no beto. Medema no beto. Ah!
Abna. Mampanyini Eko North East na oko Nalerigu na oko Nalerigu no oko wahine kese na yiri anim wahine kese anim na Ghana mampanyini kan say in the company of the vice president na ose oda mampurugu traditional for oda wo ma say particularly wale say o man first class assistant into as a first class assistant and wabo kotoko hinanim and wabeka kire kotoko hine say but for Asante enka wonyina baabia woginan and nti ni remfida efrisi yase Asante nkai na wey ose ofri per president nye ne na obo adwuma pa
I can see the end of tunnel. I can see the end of tunnel. And I turn over the train. And it's a sign of the victory. You can send on the rainbow. I can see the end of tunnel. You can say the protect, and the son of the victory, and the son of the victory. You can let's I, then I said Africa. You can say that I, Africa. It is it's a sign of a victory. And
the president couldn't have said anything other than that. But do you me say nanka wankasa has one ayeden?
Of one say I as a prophecy no we are there be
but in wankaswe.
Oh, if I will need or kase nye.
Oh, chese that wasn't the occasion. Not also a kasa. So you are asking yourself, one kasa so.
CCA, wouldn't you say? Yepo, yempo. Near obedi nadiano. Aya di hiya kasia palma party no. And one so yeah, Juma, yeah, way. And so the obedi nadiano. CCA party no hono. The obedi nadiano. And no na ye adi hiya kasia pa de ma womu.
You go kwabra. Die a mass habre we say no. Ye bit me a shannon so pa ne say. Yes, factories yasemu ya yeken. Yeah. That is the only way out. Emma Ghana saying.
Yes.
Say you bit me a manufacturing hub.
Africa
for the West African sub-region.
Yes.
Let me call. Kwabra. Say ushimwa. Jonko pencil. And na omo ye policy. That time trade ministry one kojo tremateno ala ne betnasio. Yeah. And no omo ye one district, one factory. Omo ye district industrialization project. Yeah. Na Satane Ghana 110 districts. The 110 districts no mo de ma consultants. Na consultants na omo de ma wo mo no. The kuku see and say consultants, one of the lead consultants no the late PV Obeng. NDC need the late PV Obeng, one of the consultants. And no chini 110 districts ni nyina. And na kwabna omo selected 3 factories per district. It is that time Jonko 4 pence no almost selected 3 factories per district. Emma womu ye bibia wie aneda ho. Na ya na ade no se nipa ni nim dia na akem. Nipa ni nim dia na akem wo ko wie se time Jonko 4 koye no. Let's have policy no na eda ho. Tie be ye factories miensa ewo every district. And na kwabna wada Emma Haruna Idrisu the institute minority leader obetna ho o meka sa policy ne na ho ana o mo de call cabinet o mo antimi amfa nhyem ama factories no anya adwuma ansa na hana tete so baaye ono so wantimi anhwe ama na anya adwuma ekospio gabra baaye wanhwe ama na anya adwuma ache so kamu hunu se POV obin kura na o ka consultants no kura no kamu nhwe ma na anya adwuma and say a call ya and asaba bedru hasei a call ya na asaba bedru hasei a fedio omo bebe ye den ebe sachre mu a eye na na dedan kwakufu ado ono ampa ahead of say obeba betena konwa so no okọ catch Public Enterprise Foundation for say eye John Kufuowe John Alan John Kojo Chirematen no wono ene obeba aba beboa mo ansa na osan kan voter region wi akete say on ampa ene ya sachre mu a abe 1 district 1 factory enti so hwe say policy that was since John Kufuor penso enti na continuity akam wo Ghana hasaya yanya ho hwe kosi say Kufuor do ba ye ansa na o ma kwan eno kura twetwa nantinifoɔ sa akɔyɛ kura ma yɛde ma give to ahene kunadu ansana sadeɛ na nyɛ wadwena na nyɛ wadwene dabi eno nti yɛsan ka sɛ afɛre kwadwo kyerɛmaten wa abra bɛyɛ wadeɛ ɛne sɛ wani wahyɛ enti deɛ wo yɛ 268 emu 104 ɛna ɛyɛ adwuma emu 150 various stages of your friend saying completion emu 24 ɛwɔ mobilization sɛ akonya ba na Kufuor de timi ye 268 ni wi a de wato no so no etimi koye kwadwo kyerɛmaten a you can imagine say obi a comedy no no enye adwuma na ade ma no enye sika na ade ma no enye aduane no ade kɔtɔ
oba wo se de etoa no so no koye ne obetoa no so no bɛyɛ Alan Kwadwo Kyerɛmaten ɔno ɛna oba be transform Ghana ama ya ye industrialization country
industrialized country
yes ofa eno ena betumi ama oman no ye ho atɔ yɛn that wofa na me ka kyerɛ etitafoɔ ne sɛ they are on the right path enti mama omun resort to any insult no omun sɛ asempa no de ubɔ no a na
sign of a victory.
Oh yes.
Sign of a victory.
Yes. Wafa enti wa sawaba no wabeto se meme gina ayi ho meme gina Toyota Corolla ho na father gina Rolls Royce ho na mene na eji tim say Rolls Royce ne ya me dia over wa be kasa on kasa no anza wo be kasa kwabena kopa ba bitina ade no kwabena kopa ba bitina mimi gina Corolla ho Rolls Royce si wo na me se me boss yeah pray Rolls Royce no kopa ba bitina
enti asɛm no deɛ ɛyɛ adom bi
oh yes over
ɛyɛ adom
yeah
ɛyɛ adom
omunya focus omuma omani enhye baabi a ya nam a ye kono pepepepepe
wɔyɛ ɛyɛ adom ma interview ba komrɛ
yo
afei no yanko yanim me adom no nti ɛna yɛte aseɛ adom no nti ɛna yɛ nyinaa yɛ customer obi ɛte yɛne yanko na yɛne medical doctor a wɔno so ɔsan ɛyɛ student leader na ɔsan ɛyɛ politics is based in the United States of America. Arthur Kobina Kennedy MD yamwa
Majoto wete funi na mama
yaje oso pepe Arthur Kobina Kennedy na ohumpo etesan eye enne October 4 yi
yankopon na daru mo ye pa
yo danyame ase MPP na eye calendar national executives editu dwa omo ayeden abie register to aye mass registration. The books are still not closed. As I akwa constituency conferences, regional conferences, womako Savannah, from October 1, ako upper west, ako upper east, and net ye kase woma bedru northeast, womo beba northern, no mercy aba bono east. Bibi wa ube pese ubeka edi actually party ma any party penning for
mama kind party penning for. I congratulate them for organizing the congress or as the papa we seem there consistent with our traditions and the congress at the full Kodua or Burlington party no Manyamarako the more parliamentary majority problems with these nominations agenda that we haven't finished, don't finish business. Government good feedback. The mobile affair or the media okoye every so was and then elections are all but for party leadership because I think monetization of the party was too much. Even these elections, people are openly talking about my enjoying enough. We saw the same thing with parliamentary primaries. The party must return to its principles. Creation of property owning democracy, not a property owning class. Accountability, respect for principles, centralization, entrenching the great programs that were brought. And the main so led by Nada within as now what I
Anopei, the General Secretary of the party, Ura John Boadu, granting an interview to Kwesi Abuaji, the darling boy, Ewo Ghana Muntieso, Neat FM Handman Opei, said, say, or not dear, own free party headquarters and concope a year government post. Na, oh yes, sir, then you leave the party in a lech. na party no ajicha. Suggestions from so many persons. Say as a party no is in a ledge at the grassroots level. What do you make of such suggestions?
Actually, John Nassamo can or a high-minded, but at the end of the day, the fact that in the party now get post to me, it doesn't mean you are running the party well. And the people who say the party is an election, they have a point. Martin, there a lot of times the party officers and corporate officials, including the national headquarters, look at the party leaders in opinion doing business, or doing the party's business. And it being in our end as someone, but I think the party must be run better. Naturally, now that you bring this up, I suggested this over 10 years ago. There, elections matter, but the real elections now, sometimes they are really not good at managing the party. They may be popular. And see, for example, ADAKABRI, between the two of us, even at the national level, we've had situations where the national chairman put to client from both general secretary and vice versa. And of course, if it happens at the national level, you can imagine the ratings. There are ratings, the central ratings. General regional secretary put to press conference. Now, the chairman in the same region, we put a wire press conference, and I can give you example after example. In other words, the management of the party at a lot of levels is unprofessional. And see, yet one manner, in addition to popularity, he has been competent. And in fairness, the same thing leaks over into the government. That sometimes in appointment, loyalty matters far too much and competence matters far too little. And for instance, on what the comments all kind, it also goes to the point that there has been an increasing divergence between the party and the government. In fact, Uzia was so much a party man that once a week he would show up at party headquarters so that ordinary party members who had questions to ask him, who wanted to greet him, who wanted to make suggestions, to look him in the eye and talk to him. Either is the matter. The first time it wasn't as good as Uzia, but it was better. But now, access to those in power has decreased significantly. And see, the divergence in the government and the party is getting bigger, and it's not to our credit. And to be fair, while I'm saying this, it can could do a name. For example, somebody like Nana Santude is wonderful. It's a party forum. I don't know what he's still there. Obey the question back. Obey no. If you send him a suggestion, most of the time when you have them back, he will take his time to engage you. That is very commendable. And there are very few people in this government you can say that about.
Na what can he say no? Na obi a build up a strategic plan to recapture the party, restore the party, rebuild the party, and ultimately reward party loyalists. Would it be a very good approach to bring in a MPP to the glorious days, Nana?
It will be, but the thing that we all don't want to talk about is that there are people who are very good party organizers and who are not good ministerial material or material for DCs or what. we need to find a way of balancing loyalty with competence. So, of course, obviously, loyalty is very important. Nobody appoints his enemies into position when he wins power. But there is a minimum level of competence that you have to cross before you are given appointment. And Uzia used to say that we need to separate people who want to make money from people who want to do governance. And his point was that there are people who, if you put in appointment positions, will give the party a bad name and cost you elections in the future. Maybe they are good businessmen, they should be encouraged to be good businessmen, and when they have good bids for contracts, they should be strongly considered. But they are not people who should be in government.
Do you see a kind of that disconnect here between the party and the government to the extent to say 16 years at the helm, 8 years flag bearer, 8 years running mate, 8 years president, 8 years vice president? Time to shift and have new faces come around, Anna.
Obviously, the president is term limited. On Oracle, I think everybody else must be evaluated on their own merit. One, how well have they performed? Because, as they say, Skankwara was success. The person has been a good minister or the vice president, then he has been good. If he hasn't been good, he hasn't been good. All these other strenuous factors now, who is Bihar, who is who is a Muslim, who is a Christian, all those things. At the end of the day, our business is to run the government competently, to move the country forward so that they will keep rewarding us with mandate after mandate.
That's refreshing to hear. Say, this is a direct quotation from the President of the Republic, and Nopei Wane Kwame Dinkra Akasa Wukumase on Pure FM. And I crave your indulgence. Na making kind quotation in English. Na yemfa enka yemwasem. And the President is quoted as saying, I can't have a favorite to break the 8 for the MPP. My duty is to hold the balance, but the decision has to be that of the party, and whoever the party elects, that person is who I will support. And God willing, if I do have the strength, I will vigorously campaign for the elected individual, unquote, President of the Republic. We are fortunate, sir, in 2007, you were involved in the race to succeed John Kufuor and 17 aspirants at a point when John Kufuor faced a kind of a backlash. Say, well, no, and favor one candidate, and a good party, no. A meeting is held amongst the 17 aspirants, of which you were a party to that meeting. Do you recall those days and what the President of the Republic is saying now?
I do, but I think what the President is saying now is very good. But the President then said the same thing in public. The thing is not what you say, it is what you do. Actually, you noticed earlier on, I was telling you about this agenda thing you were saying you were going to talk about. In fact, on 1st May, I sent some suggestions to the President for his second term agenda. And the last point I made was that he should be strongly urged to stay out of the primary contest. Both one, his involvement will be ineffective, and two, it will make him unnecessary enemy. And I didn't add, but it will also decrease the party's chances of being victorious. And what the President said is very much on point. I actually think President Kufuor was a very good president. One of his biggest mistakes was how he handled the succession and his role in it.
What the President does She said, Obi translate na or evaluate na or process it. Say, just after your second term, na ye install okra na machinations from your vice president. Na Obi ka say, but for your covert support, the vice president would not muster courage to do certain things. And then the supporters, enye bibia. Not just said the president should watch what he does, but not necessarily what he will tell us.
Absolutely. Action matters more than words. And behind the scenes, there have been a lot of things done and said by people purporting to speak in the name of the president that does not support the declaration he made by America. So I take him at his word. I'm very happy. But I think, Mr. President, wherever you went to sleep, and it is very good to adopt a neutral, make sure it is a fair process, make sure that whoever wins on merit, and then try and unite the party and support whoever wins. That is a very good idea.
Yo, Doc, me and share. Nana Adedankwa Akufo-Addo in the first term, I mean, endeared himself so much to the electorate to the extent say 1 million votes over John Dramani Mahama, and pervasive was this free senior high school putting money in our pockets. Then we are unable to obeka say sikani ni biku akwalana ko school no, and for whatever reason, some economic saboteurs or some info, they have found a way to let parents pay for some money, sir. As if we say, omuda who to your school fees. Then now, ye can say, uko secondary school, sir, eduanini ho, and masters, headmasters are bold enough to paste notices. Say eduanini ho, dunia wa madani ho ntemwa kakrana ewo ho no yediwi no. Students are asking their parents to bring them food. All this. Now, the president in the second term, FM, or saying in his second term, he's focusing on agric, industrialization, and infrastructure. So, agric, industrialization, and infrastructure. Is it enough to raise the the profile of Akufo-Addo?
No, it is not. And let me tell you why. It is not even the quantity or the number of things. So, in my advice that I sent respectfully, I felt that there were a number of things that the president could focus on in the second term. The first one I talked about was constitutional and public sector reforms that would deepen our democracy. The second thing I suggested was securing significant programs. And that is where what you just said comes in. 3 SHs that you just mentioned. What the headmasters are saying, about there being those food and all that. Then the reason ADAKABRI is that with respect to the president, the thinking and planning that went into 3 SHs was not good. The president's idea was good, and it is the thing to be remembered most. But respectfully, the implementation was not good. I even took on the University of Ghana Vice Chancellor. He was here about 2-3 years ago, and I was one of the keynote speakers at the function. My time there, I am disappointed in our universities because the president had been talking about 3 years since 2012. And in a meeting there, between then and 2016, one of the universities will organize a symposium over maybe a whole weekend of good, well-informed, technically competent people about education to discuss 3 years, what are the options for implementation, what are the costs, what are the models, all that. No, the president, 2017, also a year now, there will have been a blueprint vetted by experts that he could have taken forward. But the margin didn't happen. I think the biggest effect in free SHS is the idea of keeping all these kids in boarding school. US, for example, our high schools, all 99% of the kids stay at home and go to school. Why? Because there's a boarding cost in the It is great that the British left us these boarding schools and they are wonderful. But ADAKABRI, the proof of the matter is that it makes the cost unsustainable. I think that we should spend time now thinking about how we can help most of the kids who go to school in Accra, Kumasi, Takoradi, the big cities, to stay at home and go to school. It means they will eat at home, maybe at most. They buy home 1 meal at home. Then the rest of the time we have a bus system that will take them. Not say that there will be only a few who will be in boarding school. For example, our ADAKABRI, the Ukotukumi. That's why I was in the Oba, Oboko at this one now, Oboko Prempe. That's it's Accra. You will pay, make arrangements for the child to go there and pay to feed the child or boarding school. We have not done those fundamentals. And in fairness, in my suggestion, I also felt that NHIS also needed to be secured for similar problems to the free SHS. It is not that his items are no good. So, for example, if you go to Agrega, I agree with him completely that focusing on Agrega is a very good idea. In fact, between the two of us, I thought the minister he appointed for Agrega was one of the best for appointments, in my view. Looking at resume appointment, that he was very qualified for that area. Of course, we can debate whether he has succeeded. And the reason why I say Agrega is important is that relatively in a place like Ghana, people spend a lot of their income on Agrega compared to, say, in the West here. And Africa, surprisingly, we have about 46% of the world's arable land, and yet we spend a lot of money importing food, which is really strange. I am told, I checked just a few days ago, that about a year or two ago, we spent $35 to $40 billion importing food. And I think by 2025, we will top 100 billion in importing food. So we have large, fertile land, we have a useful population, we can't feed ourselves, and our young men don't have jobs. I think a great development bank should be one of the most important banks in Ghana. So we're not doing anything about it. The irrigation initiative, One Village, One Dam, was a wonderful idea, but we didn't execute. And why is it important? If you compare Africa to South Asia, Africa's land under irrigation is only 4%. If you go to South Asia, it is 40%. That plus storage facilities, good transportation, and good and stable prices in the market. Those are the things that have favored agriculture since I was an agri student in Form 5 and economics. We've always said it. We need to fix those fundamentals. Infrastructure is always important, but we shouldn't just talk. Every time we hear new promises. We're going to build 80 hospitals. We're going to build 110. We're going to build the promises. We need to execute.
It is the new strategy is to build factories, and when such factories are built, then Agric is forced to expand to feed the factories. By so doing, the teeming citizens who are hungry, when you start to butum, then it appears what do you make of that?
That is true, but you see, we are putting the cart before the horse. So we're talking about building factories, and then Agric that will feed the factories. It's the other way around. Your Agric grows, it produces raw materials, and and you want to add value to those raw materials. So the process of adding value to those raw materials leads to the building of factories. Then, of course, you look for markets for them at home and abroad. And I think that with respect to my friend, the agriculture minister, when we talk about food for jobs and all that, seem to focus on the government itself employing people in agri. That is not what will bring the job. It is revamping agri development bank so that local freeholders can produce more, sell more, make more money. Because the example of their success will keep the youth in the villages and they will go into agriculture because they see success. The government can never pay enough people to do agriculture.
In that instance, na ube support on the second term strategy of agric industrialization and infrastructure building.
Those are always, we always need infrastructure. And like I've just said, agric is fundamental to our development because we spend a lot on food. I just think that we should move away from thinking the government can employ people in agric. The government can support freehold farmers going into agric, put into place infrastructure of dams, connective roads, fixed storage facilities, guaranteed prices. That, of course, is also consistent with our commitment to private free enterprise as a party.
Right. And Dr. Arthur Kennedy, just before you go, the President of the Republic called a tour of the Northeast, na appearing before the great overlord Nairi in Nalerigo. Then he told the Nairi, so what did I say? Say Mamprugu etimi aman nipa, more particularly the people of Wali Wali, aman a first class assistant. Then ubi any aji any adekoye. In the same tour, Anna Obedu Asante. Then before the Otumfuo, and also we introduce the agric minister. Otumfuo, Onananye, one also president Eddie. Then then he continued. Mpanifuo no baako pa so trade minister. One de ofri pair president ni di enye ne wo abo adwuma pa. What do you make of this?
What I make of that is that the president is a good politician and he's playing good politics. When he goes to every place, he says good things about their local sons. But having said that, I actually respectfully, I think his remarks about Uswefria Kutu were not respectful enough. I think that his comments about Baumia that you referred to, and particularly about Alan, were very good. I think that his remarks about Uswefria Kutu should have been more respectful, but I think Alan has had a wonderful week.
Right. Alan has had a wonderful week. Inti obi to say Miami near Torino. Eye Buachie Jakon, such a great person at the grassroots level. Oh yeah, Juma. Miami wafa. Eye Akuma dan Tomero. Eye Apreku. Eye Joe Gatti, that great lawyer. Escado Ketan. Na afi why biem. One must also know where would they get their comments? When would they get their presidential comments?
ADAKABRI, I'm questioning Jama. Ibebisa, His Excellency Nana Adudankwa Akufo-Addo.
Oh my po. No. Yeah, the best here. Na party for no so kakra na aka kire wonu. Yenyim de what the be adwuma. Na one energize the base of the party. Because without unity and love.
Let me say one more. Let me say one more. I think that we all say a lot about how the president should do this, the president should do that. A president doesn't succeed or fail just on his own. The people who are supposed to be around him, they should help him. sometimes you should save a president from his own bad habits. And I think that when the president says, I will guard the public purse, and he's not doing that, people need to remind him of that. Actually, all the second term things you told me that the president wants to focus on, I am telling you here that if he does not add protecting the public purse, not just in words but in deeds, breaking the aid will be very difficult. The biggest anchor around our neck, weighing us down, is the perception that this government is corrupt. The president needs to deliver on protecting the public purse, and his appointees have an obligation to help him deliver.
Arthur Kobina Kennedy, yadu wasipa. Arthur Kobina Kennedy, MD, ena yaneno atwetwen enkomo. Nana Dudanko Akufo-Addo, in for a 4-day tour, working tour. Young Kinka messages kakrade for 050-600-0909 in the studios. Benedictum of MPP, Ewaha, na George Nash of the NDC, and so Atnasi. I say, good afternoon, ADAKABRI. The show is live inside Queensland, and as usual, enjoying the show with Mama Lou Camberwell, Akosua Kwadu inside Edgewell Road, Adjoa Melanie, East Dulwich, Felisa Mankwa inside Seven Sisters, Patrick Osajefo in Milton Keynes, Akosua Sewa Champion inside Kensal Green, ADAKABRI, King of the Airwaves, Master P, London, Ena Odifria, Wade Aba Bidring. Na, hi ADAKABRI. I greet you, what's it saying? Hi ADAKABRI. I greet you, and I'm Ansanchi Amekwa Wafa, I pray MPP will choose Alan as their presidential candidate to break the 8 easily. Even NDC members, especially the women, likes Alan so much because they say Alan is very handsome. Yes, Alan is handsome and capable to be Ghana's president. Any other candidate will be a disaster for MPP in 2024. A word to a wise Michael Asalaja and Odifribaye. ADAKABRI, please wish Honorable Alan Cash a belated happy birthday for me and his late brother Wimfu Kweku Taylor, wife and children, Ebo, Tema, Anna Odifria, Wade Ebaye. Mahmudu, Oshioma, the obvious choice now for the party is Dr. Bawumia, Abele, Nungwa, Anna Ode Ebaye. So, Anna Ose, ADAKABRI, oppressing 80% for Bawumia Ena Ode Ebaye. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, ADAKABRI. I'm struggling to pin down exactly where President endorsed Alan for the presidential candidate of the candidature of the MPP during the visit to Otumfuo. I must say, I actually back Alan, but for some weeks now, Kwabena comes on here, and instead of projecting the good in him, he turns out lambasting and casting innuendos on the same government Alan is part of. His approach is what could easily lead to a divided MPP in 2024. That will lead to a loss for the MPP so that Alan leads us in opposition. Is that what Kwabena is campaigning for? The Vice also has many strengths over Alan, but he's not attacking the weaknesses of Alan like Kwabena does all the time. The same president whom you accuse of surrounding himself with unknowns just last week, today you are on air praising us as if he's endorsed Alan. He paid respect to them by introducing them to Otumfuo, nothing more, nothing less. I'm pretty sure he would have said much more had his vice president been part of his delegation. So this is no way was an endorsement. Kwabena Teshim Ena Odifria Wade Ebaye. Wasi Konkonsafo, return whatever money you've collected because you are going to be disappointed at the end of the day. Bawumia is the next president. Ena Ode Ebaye. Wasi ADAKABRI, more ble. You can't cheat the nordness again. It is the time of the dombos. Oviajimai, I can't doblo. Ena Ode Ebaye. Wasi ADAKABRI, right. Minya interview ba so Emra. You can't cheat the nordness. It's the turn of Dombo. Now, since I'm going to interview Rabbe. Hey, better. Dr. Matthew Bratton, Yamaha. Doc, now whom put at the same way. Right. A lot of activities in Asante for the past 3 days, today being the 4th day. Now, scanning round, scanning the airwaves, scanning the citizenry, scanning the marketplace. Doc, politically, what's been happening in Asante in the past few days?
ADAKABRI that's me chair what for Santimamu Akenya na danko kwado ewa ha wada so ha no pay oko FM station ba kwa ya na me ko obi kwa me di nkra na so omudi nkoma oba he na oko otufo ho no na esan ko radio so ile nya kwanya tie ni badodo no nkuta ho a omunya Ompese omni na nadu bidi. Generally, a high animated and if I be GD say, and I don't go for a penny ye, the moon or more a deep mamma was antimamuno and cano crank treno. And not in a semble brain if I be to the editor and say, O man anado, and my father be or mutia, no moon share, that you are crying no as basa as yafa. No, Abtiabua, ama contractor no, aye, a juma. Indeed, Osha, Nipa do no, any said, and Adwa, or money that's what they say, Babay, and you may be a unconsoa, or more, and that's what says, Aban Ayano, Nana, Edna no Tumubia, or more petty, and ya say, Baya Mao, Samba Quipia, and Nika. MC for any DC for approval no air course no. If I be bridge this and another obey. One more a git can sound on my twaba ama obino. Omunya big guy. Omu receive another in a very positive way.
Na Nanado I can say Senya Asantia enka onyina baby ogyina in an apparent admission of the huge support electorate in the Ashanti region at the Emano. And they, the Asantefoni Canada, Omuhunu, our region, a commiserating, is it in proportion to the level of support? Womo at the Emma, a year, Nanado Danko Kufuadua, or admittee.
And I got when I say more to you, the plan is Nipa bebree ka me so metako radio so me de mano so atu bi me an kasa me personal antiase no enhia ana pe kwa me adinkra ebusa sa semi na na do gidi se ana mo bebree o mo tu adi putu ba santimemu no e bia do do no anu o mo wie ye no tina ye Okinka anamon bibria minina edani impuntu eba asantimemu dodo no aya kwan ayaresa bia ma na president before shots here inland port ai na de gitu se na omo how e was ikasem hu o se samre na o how ni hu bim idea ye hwe animu ebeba ntino anu ye no ekotwa se otu na mo bebiri ensie ntini bia asantiman enwuye oda so gina ho agitum se asantiman eboa MPP omo chance eboa ya che omo boa ono aban so guguso so ehye wo nkran so omo so enyina binti
Now, with your political background, being a teacher of politics, and Cananado, why you comment in the course of introducing the ministers to Tumfo? Why you comments about the flag bearership, particularly to relating to also free and Alanche Matia? And Bibi Ebetichuma.
Ai na Alan Hobiana.
Mimi na Busame.
Mimi minimo.
Nana Nana de danko agufuado etna ase no omutena ase na ni nipa so na Ashanti regional minister ejina ho na transport minister ofori asiama so etoa regional minister so na bantuma senso buache eso etoa ofori asiama so na kandapa etoa asenso so on the right, then on the left Alantre Matini and a president in Chain. And also free Akutu at Twaso. And Chairman Woon to me as a Twaso. To 3 on the left, 4 on the right. Or shall say, and apparently now Utum for a druser or dinner no disam crasso so. Ever to the president in this reno. Say a druser be a person can be dear so no. Many can find Nipa no monamono anto when him. Nti I for manchro. It Utum for so mamma quiet and I'm for Monchla once. Into a twaso and no can say asante ni pani na chesa ya no fom to can say asante mantem so afuoni ede o say mensa Simon e kire ye ede airport aye no so no minister wo hwe honom ofori asiama transport so kire ye na wo say asenso kwade ya yama no so a ene wo ma wo bia na ya wo kwa wo be in apparent reference to what ne kwa kugina aye bant mama astrotef Papa 77 wode ne kwa kwabo ball ewo bantuma ho asenso sreye eno de eye kandapa eno se akwai wa na yi aye nyina so yentimi na yi me ye nyina ye boss no eda kandapa so man muso as usual with the necessary security wa hwe shades ye reban it is what nani no said the city bia wu no ono so wa ansere nani so ye tuntum so you can imagine na afebia kwa brakan nani so ye tuntum aveno ba eye nifa no bonkum no so na wode sha ase free farrent na was chairman 1 wuntumi na eno so kan sa na fe was wa yine wonana ba akuzu nie chairman ozo free akoto na ho na was oroso be the president to mo miensa no kai bibia London wo mo nkwa nanim na twetwetwetwe na wo mo so ye ni ma se bimbu ba bia so sha ase a yeso yesiri bie na aje de to aso then in just under 9 seconds and I was like, Odumfo, opinion pa ba konsoso eni na aye trade minister na ofri pe president no ti obedie no enye ne na obo adwuma pa. What are your thoughts? How do you evaluate and process sa aye show ya Ghana man panyini wo ye ne hoyi?
ADAKABRI mi didi se Nana do was sincere, very candid about Nipa Kano Honwa, you were much. It is a 1 year political Pakupekra. We share context now, as Motiano, whom here, Obey Light hearted, relatively jovial. Now, what me I can't some swa, as I say, okay. Some kind of money now, instinctively. When your political crown can be I would have picked that naturally. And now you can say, a Joada. Nano Fiada, to Nano Yawada. Yes, Yawada, and I remember in a Quenya call video, the society, and some who can. Edi hu abobo edi no de no maybe this a kind of fast de no it was not political in any way
nanka wa okay also free akoto eno oka kire matene eno anya reference to say omo pe president adia enka ebe say bibi
only fair so the can who say Omumionu idea or no another down Kwakufa do nim to a more problem penny. Lucra na and lucre. Or they can't hold no and say she a maybe beer and teaching.
Na ushe say would the reconcile or the vice president to call Northwest in saying similar to na one of the announce or catcher or hine nairi or hine Cassia say ye medawase titru nipa kura wale Some mama first class assistant and no one no jade was obi nim then the vice president nso so no wonya bi obedi ana wonya bi a wonni
Adakabre ya Ghana for ye asase e bona na do so bo ena na na do tare Dr. Bawumiachi ena na na do tare Dr. Bawumiachi ena party tradition of a sort of such step. If you somewhere say no more here, how do we assess the Nana Dankwa Kufuor? By the day I'm saying Dr. Bawumiachi onu hu oni mu se obetimi adi o man Ghana nimu a dey be na chese ensese onu so yi ni hu adi. And why should Nana be blamed because of Dr. Bawumiachi's ambition? And there's nothing wrong with Dr. Bawumiachi's ambition. I think Nana navigate the political landmines in Oyi Papa. So far, I will not accuse him of anything untoward.
Say won't accuse him of anything untoward. Now, woman so swa, woman pebi aba bedie ya, woman nyanya presidential comment isu so no. Wonsisi woman.
Oba kumase no. I na woman safo no ampe akwanya bi amadi. If you know Queen, another cover be as I follow no akwanya bi form hunshim.
Sir,
Another will never be blamed. For two kwani na wo say ukobi. Ukobi. Told him say one presidential mission. No against Obeka. For some reason, on the basis of the content, we gave him the benefit of the doubt. It is so far the politics now holiday. It is going to be entirely no negative.
no. Just waka we fi ada manhia wa mananso ho na kwasi ada wasan na akostena sori dem ewo makion ama yasa ko bompa yasa de amano na pese o kire sei
asa woni ba ko no yagopo na Asian enu fum so ase onya akwanya akese mienu sei na yi na bi enyo ni fum so a na do ebe kuma se no anyfo na hihye se ofi ha na okọ anyfo na hihye afọ no so no mu agenda bi omde eye omhihye no ana nduki ka na ma we nyina ba mu a adaka be de se na AC udie mu a na wonsanka udie mu a wonsanka
because president ni jitu mu say na onim say ni trade minister no Alan na ye ne birthday it nature say it couldn't have been part of the plan at the time omu free and crime at what point and president me a convincing protocol sa me minister need the birthday dia yenkonko jana sorry
ADAKABRI unse openi euro kwa fani property igna ti asamo a otufo ka kire na lado no ya yokofo ya fani ma ya fanu pum ndi sa bumfa ni bia na lado bi adwuma no lado ya de papa effect of the trade minister amasa kan semu amanfo be kan to no so nukro enya nukro nve ya yemu bi so ya bia no afra no enya se kitwa oyi ni ho free sansem ni nyina mu
enti enei Dr. Machi Boatin say wo hwe ye de ekoso wo NDC foyi emu se fe accompli se John Dramani Mahama ena wo mo de no eba from the northern region na PNC David Apesera one also from the north and then MPP na wo mo kofa Dr. Muhammad Bawumia also from the north na gisebi CPP pe ene ne Miami chairman na FRIMPONG ma wo be flag bearership bi de enti de na akoye bono ene asante enti the spectacle of MPP NDC PNC omo nyina presenting people from the north no how would political pundits view it?
An enlightenment in Ghana. Emra Ghana Nyantias, yes, we are a truly enlightened society in terms of our politics, an acknowledgement of the fact that a minor entity or the Guaquemuno, a Kobebia, so much so that at a particular moment in time, a man ko akasia wo manimuno and yet, yeah, almost said that, but somehow, almost flag bearers, go free a particular region of the country. It shows maturity, it shows understanding, it shows increasing cooperation and then consensus about our politics, about ourselves, individual Ghanaians, and then some web of unity and understanding and we move into the Ghanaian society. And are very positive.
It will be viewed positively. Say candidates coming from a particular region.
It was a parties no answer that answer Amfa and Shebin Dindi Ama. These individuals have emerged out of their the politics in the party. These individuals have emerged, and only the understanding I'm talking about, and only the existence of a certain consensus be about our politics. Make one a sign of maturity.
Until now, you are pandering towards emergence as opposed to selection.
Because parties, MPP, NDC, a few ways, flag bearers, in free this part of the country. That will be artificial, and that will not necessarily show dynamism in our society and show understanding. But the politics in the party will play out. A picky flag bearers, MPP from the northern part of the country, NDC from the northern part of the country, PNC or any other party from the northern part. It shows the emerging, understanding a war of mind.
But do we know, Dr. Amachi Boateng, since 1992, you call fourth democratic dispensation, major parties like MPP, CPP, PNC, NDC, or almost be a Muslim, a presidential candidate there.
I don't claim to know everything concerning Asama Wokai, but me Rama Jimwa, me Kaibi.
Say you don't.
But
you not claim to know all, but in this instance, you do not recall. Say any of the four major parties, Eddie Muslim, a presidential candidate since 1992. Oh, could there be any positive differential? Say, would the Muslim ever be a flag bearer of a purely conservative MPP?
ADAKABRI, I'm survey of Ghana. That particular question, you decide what can be so. Oh, to about Ama Obi or man and Tom and Penia. A idea, Nifum, a be happy now. In your band, 95% say
notwithstanding, since 1992, major four parties in Nubian for Muslim Omada, for that positive differential, MPP being the party in government, representing a Muslim. In your view, Muslims at 14%, 15% of the national population, a majority group, no.
If you Muna, any Anuya, a PP, you don't know, say, or you're Muslim, or you're Christian, there you could do more. You think they go to move to now, you're bamboo, now, or mine, no, apostle.
Now, do you know of any major country in this world, in this global, minority groupings and a lead majority groupings?
Well, Obama example, United States, African Americans are not the majority. He's something that's what but you see, I was saying a share of my India politics. ADAKABRI politics is the best thing. And you grow my India when you can among yourself, cleavages are and what man. And so, you have the character of the politics there. Issues being a major issues are conflicts ever. Ghana, the issues of minority and a major issue. And there are two main parties. For that matter, two major traditions now. I call the Rawlinses tradition and use that to say, sir, I'm going to go and this operating in that tradition. And then Dankwa Buzia Dombo tradition. Two major traditions are in the Fourth Republic of Ghana. They lead political conflict, especially conflict about who to lead the country, whose agenda, and a Gina Brani, a Chen Yonko. We did two major traditions, and provided the major conflicts in society. In the context of these two traditions, Onipa Umbe Yinabano, of a minority group, that will not become an issue. It will not enter into the conflicts in the society anymore. It will not also become a major issue as to whether, say, people vote for the traditions, they vote for the political party. From 1996, the last to about 2020, MPP, NDC, they pull 40% each plus of the presidential votes. And yet, almost ethnic group, and a party neutral. ADAKABRI minority issues would not become a major issue.
The Enyanwa say Asantena predominantly. Wano etime eto Emma MPP Emma a council up to 9 regions NDC LED MPP no in the prospect of say ye kwakofa Kremoni Ednaba beye flag bearer no Asante will still continue to give out the highest of the votes at the MPP no but not necessarily yede Emma Kremoni no
ADAKABRI Asante for the me, in the year 2000, now my NDC, that was constituency people. I'm back at your say, in Peswa Isuha, Sabia Musabia Yado, of a Briteba, now the MPP style to go more in Betwaman. And I can be almost the sound of my being.
Intina comments from Utumfo reference to Nana de Danko Kufuado so many na ayokofo no na ayokofo nso so in fact chiame kantankrechi ena kan enye Utumfo ena kan but chiame kantankrechi reko Utumfo Utumfo comments all guys omo ayokofo no na you didn't see any subtle obekan say invitation to ayokofo nyina sombe hunu say yedie nie enti wei na say yekofa say Kremoni ne de na bai ene ono nso so na wawari Kremoni ede ne percent ni ba bi wa figyase ana say dwoso mamba wumiansa nware ne nka ho ana
ADAKABRI chairman no was not settled and now the day you could some nisha here na or say omuya no odi kan say omu disan komo no odem no and also kind or can you to us. I mean, there was no tongue in cheek. It was a straight, open statement. Had no idea attached to it.
You why? In the prospect of say, ye person ni baby ama wabeka Samira Baumia hono ebebwa.
ADAKABRI say no there. Commissioner Muhammad, may peace be on him. Nadaroma. A Christopher Baby, Quakoyan Cramofo, we were back of Miensa and 9. Yakoba say, Dr. Baumia, or was a branch you join in Naso. I can see be free, Macrasia, all clap for it.
Because who say, Yan Cramofuano, Waba, Ebewari Cremonia, when Tuba, and know how to the stand to say, Qualani Dean answers, and Qualani will still maintain. Baumia noa entunya Roma ni baby a na chese Baumia wa no oba ne gusu ko no Roma na your friend say ono so akone kramu na mum yetimi de agina so for political expediency say eja santini ba we so okofa de aba yakuntai mum yenta na kire eti ni we yedi ni firi juso ana se de ni firi besiase ana yedi ni firi afijase
Akaba be France kore
asokore etiezi abekwa kire Dr. SKB asante say wo ma me obe firi asokore na Muhammadu Bawumia so so obedi flag bearer asepade a jesu ware santini ba aka ho
ene de akaba bo
yanhwei na eya wada na obedi ni birthday ni emphasize proposition no yeni kan fanto Samira Bawumia nim so obepena ma be ma ya wa bi aka ho a wa mpene di idea ye be ma no
na sana nje reality
e was say what no timiti ase say wo kwa wa bi ka ho ansa na waba na wo ba nso so a wo oba na wo be som ama wo no panyini na tenase na wo som wo ne be ma no na we wanya santini ba chese wo fo mu a wo beti ase a wo be som ni enyo hado enyo hado oba be ha oba no okunu esreja odi president ni wi anu o majai doc ye do wase papa right the prospect of Dr. Bamanu Bawumia Yaman Santini Bawal George Nash what you know what saying
minia mami chia wetifo na pempenso eduide se beba no metiwa adakabri beba no metiwa na ode nsem no tutu ho na usum na ya to victory song kura ya ama ya bo victory song ni ade wo afiri so de ade nyina nti na jeze nije no se ya ko one side o then I make a what you say because eba na menu ya misusu ade bi ka kire de se mpempenso edu no nanado onye mistake ni ese oka no enua na waka no
nedika
misi ni ese oka no enua na waka no because obre ya se nanado ankasa etumebie na no akase alanchire mantin edimu acha nende we say abobo chichi fi nsuase be ka kire se odanchem hu atochima den na okudi ne chinje nanado ankasa no kan osisi mpempensu edu no esi the offer dua pa no on the piano Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ka ho do kware ne nyame nim ni gana ni bi enim wokofa ne nimdie nti ene wode ne bae nimdie yi so a wode ne bae well me nka nimdie no ho asem sisi ene wode ne bae so what you say nimdie no enye party say bia wo ba be nanado ni ho a wo na wo da bi if you as if you baby so wo hwe MPP fo won records a adakabra unim records na nyame na me kura me ba be ka kire wo if you baby na if you baby dubu ahemu mre so na president Kufo wota tachi saa wodi mate president Kufo di mate saa do ka kire ne se to bu yase na edubu aheno ono no ye panyin mun to bu yase ma no ene odi obu ne ni die ma edubu ahen oye ne de anye yi president Kufo bi di mu one nanado ba ku pia wosi unana ya Kufo sengu Kufo ye obra panyin opira one ne pri to bu yase ye denga bi du so o sengu panyin nanado danko Akufo ado nya botare Kenya ya ma president Kufo nya 2000 ebebu man 8 years ma president Kufo sande na honden ta nachi ka chelesi le flag bearer ship no ba be yi no o si onye ne ebe ma party no ayeden aya kono otu no fo ka chelesi onye ne ebe ma party no ayeden aya kono se o ka 2007 a beba mitie mu nkomo no 2007 no ne Alan ne ya wo friends dey say do nkiti akoka na asem bi o ka say akrofu du song a wo kwa kopre akonfu that say bi hun to kwa we si o man we mwanya ze nkitu a wo pray na me kai adakabra unim say nanado didn't win 50+1 vote 2007 no yanka say walk or run off but they told wo friends dey Bawumia sorry Alan Chiremantin I mean we all know say only Charlie party di niska nti mun to mo bi ase waste of money isika say any ade nti se ni aye we dey to bo ase na onu an nko den e bedu so na Alan Chiremantin o twe no ho gina nchen no se mi bra panyin we den ko wo se mi mfie ta na ade na aye tradition adakabra me ko ka tradition why ai ko tradition I say kisu bia ye wo se san na ye e na ale na atoro bo ase ya ma imprempren ya ba beduru no so edu no so eno de me de se impempen so yi obia kokase Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia na fan ko si hia Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia oba da ben Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia grade ze NDC ba NDC ska na hwe no ne papa Dr. Mumu ni Bawumia Rollins Abreso enti why you from the education okwa ne nyanso ni media wo nyina ye NDC fu ye sika na hwe no tua ne fees hwe no bedu mpempen so awedu ba ne ni media Ghana we ayade Ghana fine but ya Abreso ne papa modern boy on the Rollins odi wo Rollins Abremu a ye ma amembu no ko yi no so what you say enema Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ne otumi nya sa enyo nyam no wonya sa enyo nyam na wonya nimdie no enti adakabre Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ne nimdie owo enti na wode ne ba party ne mu no won amfa na masi ombedi president eno no de no kware de do be NDC ni but at least me follow politics ne kakra wo man we mu ne ekoso wo MPP mu no ekoso ne ye ameka da so na menua be no ti ne enkoso ye wo me party mu no obeka so what you say enti bebi edu ne de look Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia there is a queue bebi edu no na nado akasa o se papa no wadi mache ye so what you say o se wadi mache wa president ache so be the president ache obo ofri ya kotonu wanka se wa preache o so onyaaya but edu Allen so no oye no peculiar or specify ye wanka se onyaa obedi o se wa pre ache pre na wa preache na yese bia wa ba begina MPP ticket so pre so obedi mambeyin na wa nyandi da bi within the MPP party na no wa preache nti Alan bebi edu no eye Alan bo ye den mo twi mo mutan ye wota bia wo fe ni twisi onim twisi adaka be se onim twisi tai bia wo de kumu no ma no ba ko bi ye fe ni twisi utwia na asi usan twi ye den utwi ye den utwia esia utwi den enko bi o bebi edu ne de ben aye twisi mo atwia ba na asi Alan more grease your elbow ma bona baso oh ye edu no so edu so no kware de ba ko pe oyo da see ba me anim ena meka say adaka ba meka say ne ekoso wo one party nim no enya metumi akase wo because you know when your party is affected into cause your party more it affect my party. Have you forgotten that there are families in your in the MPP and they are the same family? Just look at the Junapo family, look at this a black family in Asefo nyina no in American what you say enti ekoso wo ho na enya wa ha Ghana fu Ghana and shepherd you see political parties no e wo Ghana mu me MPP ni be ye Ghana fu so what you say because me MPP ni nti no dey be ne ekoso wo NDC mu na mfa ho a dey be o se no kware bi wo ho a o kan eboman basa no kware ne Ghana na do Yankubu Hira wa kasa ro kware no wa karo kware no man no be boy mbo nana wa kasa wa kugudrum ala na preache edu no so se ne okan no ufurudu ya pa eno weden
Ben ire ji so sire ni ya
o kabi jama kaba kabi ma kadi nyina opposition crowd bakasa fefefeze
why are there na edu be na dey wom bet I don't expect anything different from what you've said of at the end of the day Ghana and I be because NPP BM no affected Ghana, affected all the other political parties. Shas you know, Amede, I say Bekwama President Akufo-Addo. Ghana Mampani, as they say, all bought and twa like all tall Ghana, my munina. I should share projects. I may do my Ghana for the Ghana, a minor a share in Sano. Yet me, na buying, et me, a share, nay, na a dinner BP Ashanti region. And enra yehu the CCA over the weekend na eneso all to aso na me fa ne se owie kumase a na itinerary na ode nani be kire konongo na Okwa commission konongo government hospital na owie so a na wakọ nkokọ owie so a obeto ato aso a na ocheso ode abako foredua na ode ba nkram ade bi ho a efe na enika ene se behwe de mampani ene na mamuo na bedwaku kwan omofa so nam kwan omofa so di nkomo a ekopie otumfu anim a enipa na Ghanafo NDC fo ama obi ehu sa so ompe na asem real enchamanten ono a original ye a o introduce wo mo a otimi introduce bisa chamanten ma o sa de to aso se ampa ape so bedi akunya no ache nanka nkrofo bi nyaaya a nanka okan bibi foforo but president onye nyiyimu onye vindictive oni obia ho tan ekire ni pasu a papa no oye se eye ono se eye wo oni eho asem se owura Chiremanten eba bedi NPP amanyoko anim na edi breaki 8 ofa eyadepa the vice president Baumia eso so ene benya saa kwanja no e de baba be di NPP anim a eno so yadepa the owura koto a na oka ho agric minister Mr. One District planting for food and job man ofa ono so nya kwan na ebedi a ono so eyadepa tani pa eni omo a president ama omudin nyina omokeka ho nyina no omumu bia ebenya kwanja no aba di party NPP animu no migidi ye pa se eye better esene NDC candidate bi omode ne beba ankrofoi performance omusu ehunu enyina no ekire se omunya kwanya bedi NPP anim na Ghanafo mo makwanya de ba beye omampani a ombetimi abu oman ni yie asene NDC candidate bia omode ne beba na ohwe NDC mu a ofa eye obvious se eye sebe banchina na enya ediko odwaso a yekoton ya Ghanafo anto eno Ghanafo first ye tubi free form banche no ye tu free form se we de ye nwansi so ne ehwe se ye a ene ma owura mahama akwanya efie nan afi se banchi unu a efogu na emum owa pacha mahama mamuo pacha ye a wode ba Ghana eha ema Ghanafo hwe mabufuo ema omoto abatia no eno no ho enne Ghanafo to abatia no so ontenase ananka Ghanafo kra de no mo hye nanimunyam se koye former president na sebe ye bodwa ya frew na ya ma wani die but wo so wono de wanwie de opeso wo ye ebuo a no opeso obu Ghanafo no opeso sa ba no sa be mia Ghanafo mene enu ntina omo ba is it obvious when this mu say mahama ena omo de beba na eno so ma ye ya yo NPP no eni GP se wono na ye omo preferred candidate a omo de ne ba because Ghanafo ni mo no Ghanafo nim de otimi ye Ghanafo nim so omo ne ho modene indi sebe wo de meme abranti a sebe me suahunu enuru exchange se NPP fo mpanifo a omo person be di animu na wo de even me kura me begina NPP anamu e ma Ghanafo ma me ho akwanya metima bo me ho modene asene mahama enti ye any problem as to who we are bringing because we know that they are all competent as compared to NDC candidate ombe you know owura mahama their obvious choice enti Baumia owura Alan Chiremanten kankrofo mienu wei ena se NPP fo ye be yi omumu baako a Ghanafo ho beto wo mo ofa ya manka nchiro minua nash ye wo backstage ya na o ka chem se nche obeware am se me de beto anim so ama eduru so a
akokra sa na fe no obeware
sa me so ya akokra o beto be chem Baumia
George se wutu no ni na 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 bibi aba botum ade be ware
But Nadu amam.
Memua
Of how better who has him.
Memua no.
Na mesre say would betu bia amagana for yi na kwata na chi.
Memua no.
And this your memua no se ye no. Enti mama na enye oba anware. Ye memua o se enye no. Eno na ama ne ho akwanya, ama ni skato ne botom a ne wode kware. Enti sa amamu papa yi ni nyina gina owura alanchemanten so. Sa amamu papa yi ejina owura baomia so. Amamu papa yi ejina owura akoto afriye so. Amamu papa yi ejina chemanten eja akon so. Amamu papa yi ejina enkrofo a omu nyina epekwanya so mba bedi MPP anim na Ghana for mo ho akwanya e dia bedi oman so. Enti ye die ofa san enkrofo we nyina President Akufo-Addo abe demonstrate kufo be ye bi President Akufo-Addo abe demonstrate mohwe project a hodo e koso Ashanti region eno nti obo anan President Akufo-Addo bo anan okọ Ashanti region a ene sansem we abetodwa enwanwa na jinsem free say owura President Kufo a obetwa mu ye si secondary school amano e de ne din atoso say J.A. Kufo Senior High Technical School ewo daba ebi o free ye eno sa school yi ebeboa ebefa nipa over 12,000 okọ bosontwe so a ye say si girl school esa ho
ya wie sa part no
programs project President Akufo-Addo ego twa
ma yenko
creative art over creative art yes secondary school
you will not
creative art over san niema ya efe
adijum yenje enye de okwakoye
Ashanti region onye fi MPP den na MPP ayo Ashanti region mention 10 projects now I can give you mama abresu betu mama 100 this year Ashanti ni kura ka say they are disappointed in Nanado's government
was say one ka say over correct no
that woko kati short for 111 nipo kasama Ashanti kire say o say Ghanaians are disappointed
was say ma yankan asema da one say
o say Ghanaians are disappointed
President of the Republic wako Dako Farms na Dako Farms has been absorbed as a one district, one factory.
Exactly.
With a revamp of 22 million cedis.
Exactly.
Amadako Farms, Ejumano, what 20 Nimfidi, what Diana Bro, was creating outgrowers. Adako Farms.
Was I employ workers?
Yam procedures, obetime a supply and cocoa to KFC. Na yede atutu Ghana cocoa, ade ama Ghana phone kwala area. 350 workers and no more absorbable. There's capacity to expand. In the same vein, Nana Danko Akufo-Addo was a revival New Plan Ghana.
Exactly.
In the 70s, and Nakutua Champion Penso, New Plan Ghana producer Coco Serenoa, Yakoko Giasase, Ewo Abrepo, Ede Emma New Plan German C, Emma Momus Bisu on Krahase. And they John Kufuor Penso okofa chassis Mercedes-Benz chassis buy and a no plan for no yeden body works no coach works no see so ya to bus ni din Audu Isaka now no plan going down and omo approach the government of Nana Danko Akufo-Addo through the trade ministry and they Nana akoka kire omo ewo Kumasi say one district one factory no ya do maka ho the sika wo so mo pe no says can so no ye de amam government a place initial order of 100 buses no plan for e de ama metro mass transit na metro no plan for no enya adwuma e de aye. What do you make of this? Nana Danko Akufo-Addo or revamp na o create one district one factory.
ADAKABRI medawasi wa kwenye odi amami mebano bitiu pa. You were saying a lot about Nana Danko Akufo-Addo MPP second term. Or maybe a chapter about this agric development that they find saying. So you were saying this.
I say agric industrialization and infrastructure.
Yes, agric industrialization and infrastructure. Mebano, but you were asking the views of Ghanaians because we say why you interview be ubisa views of Ghanaians about Nyama Wakai. The idea na or the abano at the dengana. Adakabre, we are in the 5th year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yama kwenya imfia nang. Are we coming to concentrate on what Nanado is telling us today? Say bia Nanado ne MPP nebe kachiri yensi. They are coming for industrialization. They are coming for agric. Or they want to mention something for Ghanaians to believe. Yenjendi say this is what they are coming for. Then it's a lie. Adakabe, we should be asking, you see, maybe I will come there. Maybe Daku Farms. I will come to Daku Farms. A very good idea. Commander Sugar Factory is still lying down there. Why? Because let me finish with my point. Why are we not dealing with you see why are we not telling Ghanaians about what has happened previous? Industrialization. Yes, film. It's a Ghana for you who you in Nimkosro. The end dano, and then Nanado Danko Akufa do Babe Catching. Adakabe, che, Abaya with the Ghana, your more pa. Nanado Danko Akufa do Babe. I'm telling you, me, yet to about 2017, NDC, your opposition. I thought Nanado's government is coming to kill NDC. Because what they told Ghanaians, you walk at the Ghana for you the Ghana share one sano. Adakabre, you are a Ghanaian, I'm a Ghanaian. Ghana for you see, those who are listening to me warn him. Prepare your money at Ghana for ye kumune. And only in Pempenswa, say ye pese Ghana yakwana. A fain or Babeka industrialization. A fain and another Babeka says or Babe heading. Hey, and the Ghana den antiasempa. Adakabe 2018 budget statement because abaya odiye koyechi oma Ghana nkonanim any MPP aban 2018 budget statement any aye Ken Oforiata ne budget statement mamimbi paragraph 101 enchirawo what's achievement nya ejuma ye di jayo enye nia mo aba beye Mwankasa mu budget statement. This is what we told Ghanaians. Boka chense hwe Adakabe emirinti mami boni twe hwe in Sawam Apedwa Road kwa Afukrom Apedwa 2016 mu budget statement it was 77%. 2017 yeba be fia bemu na 87%. 2021 budget statement by Adakabe let your producer check 39%. Amam boyefo mu bomai no a road that was 87% from your own budget statement. Any 87%. 2021 budget statement. 2017 it was 87%. 2021 budget statement by no that 87% road no atiaba 39%. Ama boye fo amu boman. Keba kuso wa ha eni inkwanta otida mango. Sorry, also brekum siekwa road. 2016 na 81%. 2017 na 88%. 2021 mo the budget statement by esan gina 88%. Wan na mo bono koron. Musisi wan. Mo ka no kware a kire wan. Adakabe, we have models in this country. Okay? There were models in this country. Say aban if any serious government want to create employment can invest into those models and create employment like the way the previous administration did. The previous administration what he did, you know, in Kabuba in Kese Mutiaso. But a strategy. It is for a strategy. Nia bangda than if ya see you so ye nia ding na way say, Wobeja mana ayeden atitia pansam. Ne say ya, then the yedum fie nanguma, no bag catch the gun of Wuzi, as someone to about mayenga, and the Jumana, if ya seno, a besay. E de nyanko ponsi, ene, the biaba. In the bie aba. Through the skills development fund. Corvette at disbursing a total Mama Briso at disbursing a total of 150 million to 654 businesses. A trainee, 93,600 people in vocational training and skills across the sectors of this country.
What do you make of expansion of existing companies into a 1D1F and the total new setups are 1D1F? And Quadano, I'm ranting them about one a committee woman. Any Jumaye, no Munyesika. Na omuto aduane dia. What do you make of it of such a scenario?
My brother ADAKABRI, I agree with you. Ejuma ya die bia today as we speak, unemployment rate e wo Ghana ha no. I exceed say udwen ho kra wonti ase. Unemployment today, the youth, we are suffering. I have said it several times on this your platform here. Makasi mbebunu youth ye bre. ADAKABRI mbebunu ebre. Inti se ejuma beba ama mbebunu ne ye nya bia ya. I'll be happy. Dako farms ye ejuma bia. Ewo ho nyene biswa na mete Dako farms. Enyene na mete Dako farms. Send them make what you say. But I have always said, say, ADAKABRI, when you help a business to expand, it doesn't necessarily mean to start business now why buana mana expanding no, but employ in Crawford to your expectation. ADAKABRI, so when you expand the business, it doesn't mean say so for nipa bibri. And I say they are for nipa, say I have a capacity. So there be so be kaya ADAKABRI emri bi e be singing na ye wo wonga wo hohoro bottle ho to what with this food beverages wonga wo hohoro bottle wonga wo ye labeling. It was human beings that were doing it na ye nipa and na wo ye labeling bottle labeling no wo hu na nipa te ho no lebu. I know one company onye sika o expand you know, he brought in machines and instead of 35 mere 35 now what tare labels no wo into one ho ne ade no oyi won nyina di the machine back ba be si ho. Why expand it? Why expand the business no be produce more, but no interest or employ the bebre. So what I say ye be so business na say I mean I agree with the government. So what I say I mean he said the private sector he's going to build the business through the private sector. Only private men no obe so masne no betumi afa nipa ai na machiri no ye studio when they give you money to beef up this your studio here, it doesn't mean today you go to studios without cameramen. You go to studios without cameramen. Now I've gone to TV stations and because TV stations be won camera be 4 5 ebiesa na nipa ginichi na wo twa koba masanga ko studio bia nipa ngina camera nechi camera nkuto na esisi ho. So when you give me money to expand and makoto cameras are nipa nyinechi ya, I will automatically not employ more.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean you have employed more, you are employing. No. The unemployment rate is high and we must accept it. Okay. If we don't accept it, as if say you Bugana focus here because in Mebru ni nyedumanye, it is over traha and I say nana do jina baby and MPP ni bi jina baby say Mebru no ho atowon. It's an insult.
Okay. George Nash, a member of the communications team of the NGC, nothing in name.
But what air condition as you, Muni, is refrigerated.
That's a member bunny.
You bet that assembly
member bunny,
sir, or more air confirming, or Mugus or more confirming. This is now you president Edo Mabano. I have for the Yamebo China and a bet confirming or Munina for this assembly. Ebemo must swear in confirmation the assembly is not the kind by swearing in no Yamebo China na ebekoso the munyam betechiri na yabo security apparatus I war I have for the national security regional security coordinator nabaso ewo maswa have for once hoye the din yanten kaboni bia da na ekoso bia ye bebre no fa utie menua nash babia ofri bane ne nsem kan ya utimu say wolusu touch in the sense that I say who the offer asema ubusa no e factories asem ebe yemfa anantadru enkonkoye kompo enti so obusa na factory ho asɛm a nka megidi ye pa sɛ minia nash obestate a kyerɛw sɛ ebia this number of factories are kama ɔmo no wɔ so no from 2008 to 2016 no nko betimi aka a kyerɛ Ghana fo a enya so 80 na awie mre dodo a wodi amani nyina wantimi ammo one factory we die mekai no baako Commander Sugar Factory ɔmo na yɛyɛ ɔmo yɛ adeɛ saa anisuade hunu no bi na ne yɛ pɛsɛ nka ɔmo nya ne kɛseɛ na ɔmo eguso na nka ɔmo biebie enwuma factories ɔmo support private sector no ene NPP aban you believe in private partnership no PPP no public private partnership no you believe yes so ankrankra edwumaku ase ɔmo asebe sika sema ye ɔmo dene a ɔmo yi ɔmo nkrofo adi ye mo ɔmo sika e dey expand na ɔmo timi asafa nkrofo ɔmo mu deda a ɔmo wo ɛyɛ adwuma no ɔmo bɛkɔ so afa ɔmo atu ɔmo ka ɔmo afa afoforo so aka ho that is what the hunu no na ye dey ye one district one factory ɔmo factory a ɔmo kɔ ampa Owura Nash a ɔyɛ NDC communicator ma ya ti ase sɛ uye factory wi a eno nkyerɛ sɛ ɔbɛfa nipa adwuma ampa ɔmo yɛ Commander Sugar Factory no ɔmo ntimi amfa nipa adwuma because ɔmo nim sɛ ubie factory a ntimi mfa adwuma ampa ɔmo bie factory one factory pa ɔmo yɛ ne Ghana ha no ɔmo ntimi amfa nipa adwuma factory no ɔmo yɛ sɛ ɔmo de produce sugar no Ghana ni bie ni hono a obetimi aka sɛ ampa ohun sugar yi bi ɛwɔ ne fie anadwa manso ɔde ne nsa bɔ sugar nim ko ne nsa tia bɔ sugar nim ko ɛde ka ne getrama so ɛhwɛ sɛ ampa mahama NDC aban from 2008 ebesi 2016 ɔmutimi produce 1 cube of sugar ɛma Ghana ni bi etimi de to ne getrama so ɛma ne ko ne widim if you say 1 sugar na company no ɔmo yɛ no ɔmo anwene ho ɔmo na anwene ho yie anhwɛ kwan a ɔmo bɛfa so anya raw materials e dey feed this factory no ɔmo na anwene ho yie ekwankro ɔmo nya technical people amo mama ne saa company no nti ɔmo ntimi amfa adwuma ɔmo ntimi anto enuane raw materials emfiri akuafo ne ho ama akuafo no ho anto ɔmo am ya fa me feed factory no am na ntimi produce sugar e Ghana ha wa wo da so ndaye no wọ́n ti mi ànfà anya adwuma and you expect them yẹn ẹni yẹn mẹ́yẹ ho adwuma ma wọ́n na da so ho da yẹ ẹnẹ Ghana fo anya hwee kura no akumfi produce akumfi factory yẹ no yẹ factory yẹ da adwene ho ẹpẹ kwan yẹ di sika bẹhyẹm ẹpẹ kwan yẹ bẹfa so nya raw materials ama na feed factory no ẹpẹ kwan yẹ bẹfa so nya ọmọ nim hu nim de ama akọyẹ adwuma ho Ghana fo mabunu ene mabawa ne mrantie etimi anya adwuma ɛyɛ wɔ hɔ no yɛda dwene ho ampa ye bie factory no etimi fa nipa ma ne yɛ adwuma that factory si yɛ bi ene yɛ ni so adi hunu ene sɛ enye factory foforo a yɛ ba bɛyɛ nko a na mmom factories a ɛwɔ hɔ dada so ɔmo ɛbrɛ ɔmo si apini ɔmo yi nipa di so yɛ bɛboa ɔmo wohwɛ mu a they say 278 one district one factory projects ena ye this year ni so 278 ina this year ni so that district bia betimi anya ho akwanya na niema omo produce in district ho no omo betimi de ye bibi e wo omo district ho na timi afa nipa 278 ye ba emu 150 e under construction ye ka no krenti ye be ye bia no ye de ho adansidie e beto adwaman so ene Ghana fo fie SHS nti efie bia mu akra bi ko school wo ho because akra na omu ntimi nya sika enko school omafo ntimi ntwa school fees no omu timi ese omu nya ho akwanya kɔ nti be ko fie bia mu no ye wo secondary school akra wo ada so okɔ anase wo wie nti dia ka nyina abeso mfidie ya ye de gusu no enkra na ntimi hwɛ e ka kyerɛ omawofo 150 ayi under construction no ye wo 104 a eye adwuma sesei that 104 no sesebe eye enipa 5 okra na efa ofa na say 100 okra senke be ye 500 meboa ene nke be fa o madwuma meboa nti senke yetimi ba ne mfie nan kura no ye dwumadie ekura timi fa nipa 5 e wo district bia e mo ye adwuma se be se nipa 5 no a mo ye adwuma no so mo wo yere mo so mo wo ma mienu ka ho a o fa nipa miensa meka o mo ho o mo ma me no papa mo a abo mrewa nkokora gu fie no o fa o mo ko adwuma ba o mo timi motuku e ma sa mrewa ne nkokora fo enya bi ni enti hwe nipa direct and indirect we affect o mo nya impact e wo adwumadi a ye die so na sebe obi sua wasa na wa chia ne pa na osua o kasa so na obo ne hwene enti ene ndc fo ka kire se the factory no yes ye o ma gye tum se ye yenso mu ye kura no technology nti mi fa ni pa dodo no fa ya the sebe obi ye na adwuma no office obefa ni pa 100 obetimi di machine ba kwa ba na nipa 100 no machine betimi produce ebe ye nipa 20 adwuma o se man fa ma enu no nti ena ofa na America no na me kire obi business secondary school e say na yesi a ewo bosontwe ekura no ye hwese sa secondary school no e new the emerging trend of your friends learning ebetimi u produce nipa from secondary school level no obetimi di omo yes curriculum no ama omo ba bedu tertiary omo wi a they will be fit for purpose a obetimi factory sado hodo ye no omo betimi nya hu nimde current trend so the machine eba se machine no e wo se nipa na eso machine no e hu to chima se wo se nipa na ye eno ne ye di current trend of way eba ama nkrofo atimi hu nimde abesua de se de be ya wo di machine foforo ba so me adwuma emputu en saki nipa enfra adwuma na emom se nipa no wo hu nimde a omo betimi operate machines no eno ne ye ni so de hu no eno ne oman ewiase nyina eni so de hu a esi aman a ewo ni so de hu papa eso eno no hu na NPP aban ye de si eni so NDC aban omo nkoda na omadwene ye de health insurance ba ye no omo se ntimi nya adwuma because ne nya omo da ye egru wiase omo gu health insurance organ ha ma ye ye de youth employment eba omo se ntimi nya adwuma enko wiase youth employment omo ba ye no omo be saki nkrofo nyina efa omo nkrofo egum aso ye ba ye omo nkrofo da so ye adwuma ofa eniema bebre enanu ye di na ko ba ye omo se ai 700 cities na akotu omo ka omo ministers ebe ka kire se nabunu ene mnantie enkotwa enura grass emegina kwa ho enkosesa abo megugu kwa ho na nkrofo do omo ka duru ho a omo gina to bi enu ne adwuma na ewo mani so omo timi create maganda fo ene ye 278 factories mu 104 eye operational ene ye ceramic factory ene ye watermelon factory ene ye tomato factory ene ye factory is a produce leather oh Ghana ha ni na one this one factory factories be to say da ku farms egwo so machine Exim Bank facility ye de ama omo because da ku farm efa no ne nkata de ko Exim Bank e bia ko nya sika so enam say government of Ghana ekufuado eda dwene Ghana for ho edwene Ghana mabunu ne Ghana daachi ho enti government of Ghana are committed say factories egwu Ghana ha no yebe bo omo yebe di omanim na aban ne di wanim dia okwa obenya bosia eno na government of Ghana through one factory edi companies be to say da ko farms a yesu so ne ye omo nkoko pa eso so and the NDC no mugu ama omatime konya 22 million edi be so omadwumam enkase be wanya bebi ama wase a senke nya mo ne kro no montimi anya bi NDC montimi anya bi ama Ghana fo a enka mo se nyai ema obi oya ma omo no unsa ma metu hu ho oso obo Ghana ban abaso oso obo ewura akufuado abaso na wo ka che Ghana fo se enkase be enka akufuado osa wo hu kwanya bi krara enka Ghana fo santo ane so na emom oni hu akwanya no NPP aban a etimi yi obi ti se akufuado de ni begina ma Ghana fo ma ni hu akwanya no e wo se sama Ghana fo sama akufuado Ghana fo ma NPP hu akwanya no mutimi yi obi o ti se akufuado oraba omia wo ho ora lantamante wo ho ene adesa omaka ora koto afiye wo ho no magina NPP anamu no magina Ghana manamu enye sa adwuma so yi adwuma fefe yi ma Ghana fo mabunu ebenya adwuma ye sani ma no wo se nka wo ba yi nka bo abaso ka sha kaunsa downsem anka abo Ghana fo abaso ti etimi omutimi daaye adwene se NPP aba ne betima abo wo na o ka kire se amba factories ne de ye as factories ni ntimi fa nipa minyini se factory bia ni ho a aba wan fa nipa baako na se bi go fa nipa baako ne minia ya oso obeware minia na aso obeware oware na se ne factory no fa na dwuma ne yire a o ye independent a won so no ono no ebecha benyi obebo ne yira kohoma obo yira kohoma ne ba o mbewo no akora ne benya bibia di obetimi ahwe ne ba ne yire maami a wa ba abrewa ebetimi nya so mfa so enam se factory ni ye adwuma no ono na enya bi ye ene abampapa nti otimi eba abeware
okay
Adakabri
right
maboegu awaya se maboegu
you move on
Adakabri unim
afi yemna mehwe
unim
ade ba konso so a edi nya ewo oman mu hase coronavirus bae ye ni bre enipa ewu and it appears to say enipa ewu as a result of road accident no it needs attraction no a coronavirus penso no ye nyaaye na wo hwe aye anadwi ade ba be chi anopai road network ohene nkwanta udi efri konongo ehyiayem udumase efurusane ewo Anglican fo ho Tree Lane efro na yamawo climbing lane kra na watimi average to the right esane asafro afi usane no so no you are facing a climbing lane munyina mo bekwa road markings no so ho it means broken white double long lines yo na wakwa kusane ko hene nkwanta ufrin crime wako to the left asamba to the right asako to the left into final right na fe wo kwa kusane de akọ eye ensuo yi mu na fe so no factory ho e na beba ebema a truck SF ye no chese so akọ a new breed of trucks bi a aba SF no ne CF no sa daft trucks no efa perishables efa vegetables yi mako tomatoes jene ne ade ne nkroma na within the driver fraternity no omunim se sa driver for ne kasa SF no ne CF no efa vegetables no omu etumrika epese omu ankasa se ejetuato epese obebe drunk crime na yekoyi no ma na homache ewo dwom ansana dwadefo ma na kase wa ye late nti se wa me dru ntemu a na dwadeni no o ye late na no ma na bono so a next time omo peka omo memefa wo ka no enu nti eye boss a okowa na okofa yi pen kura so kumase na sa SFE etimi engage wrongful overtaking was logo ligi ohine nkwanta ho ohine nkwanta ho so notorious or accidents papa na otimi edikokohwe boss yi mu ekumnipa dia ni betimi aye ama accident eso nya same traction nipa ewo as a result of road accident anya the same traction as nipa ewo under corona virus educhum
over medase na areho se weda asori na ase bi sei sebe obi maame obi papa wase mekwa aba o to akrafie na obetia ne se wa maame du areho eba sei ade nsunsun so bebre eba bosua eso nkra a wose sebe o school fees modidiem enyina even say enye sikasem kura na ombenya maame bi atenase na oye boni a watene no na papa bi atenase oye boni a no watene no se de be akura no beba beye papa ama society no na saa akonya ni nyina hwere saa nkura no because papa ekoye kan kwanhia road accident akosi ama papa na frim ni maame koye wa ama areho na se de owudi tu dwa no entempe ewo sebe enipa bibini so eno sometimes just o prepare hu bebre a onkonkodu ade no wudi tumrika wan hwe ade nkwa na akotwam wo ho Yeah, traffic light. Ebia sometimes traffic light adum. Na obehe obi abezo orum. Obi a pen ntem no. Obi na baako defender na atwi obi. Na fe de omo pen ntem nya na omo si na omo gina ho. Entempe enkyere se obi wie. Esre driver for. Akotufo. Moma yento yebo ase wo ya akwan so. Aban ewo asede responsibility. Say obeyi akwan.
Die na be driver ni. Unim say ha e winding. Na oson vegetables. Na osimi you overtaking.
Me overtaking. Entempe ya.
Omutimi soa sa tomatoes no. Na wa load 10 tons, 7 tons. Na ono no loaded truck no. Semi automatic, e be a full automatic. Na ono ejade tuato no. Na o sign. Small car. Na o sign bus ho.
Meanwhile no, sa bus no in speed level no nye bi na kuta. Wo no small car no person o sign ho.
They will sign ho because okuteja no.
Ofa, na obehwe no omo load kura bro omo capacity so.
Onyanya level no. Otia so beko.
In the end of the day no some odweno ho nche sebe obi o ho no ma ebia onim onye driver papa. Ofonye omu nyina na ye de o mafa nteteyem ama ye hu se ampase nipa so masi obetime twi such a track. Obi o ho wadi mate na nje bia weekend no kra no
say driver for no anim omunim crop no ene de truck abe dwane pa na SF CF SF CF enti omunim omo
ndi ofa me kwa kotomoto amakra bi na o dey delivery ama me na me bisa nse moto be na o ye na obo ba ko bi di emisa nsa de o say dwane pa
e kan imagine
edwane o de koi o say edwane pa eje se wo kwa koto ka ma obi so o de mana use a o pedu edwane o mpede de ne be kwa aba ofa bese me de ma na nche na hu so o de akwa kotwitwie
wo so ka se edwane no so toy
be se me de ono no ka kire me say de me kan o say adenti na edwane o so omo app delivery na onya ye na se de ma wa onipa kro no de koma no epese oduru ho ntentem
how
and then me who say ibisa omo say no so durable so edwane na say durable fine but I want him
but enipa na ye in charge no because that particular trucks here abeya omo di tutumreka CF no ne SF no
edwane pa
just say edwane pa to the sense say less than 2 weeks kura a bus or no to me so no ma be sign bus no ho e na obegina wa anyinam e na bus no be sign no the bus no e ba no e no be duru baby na there was a blockade ho kakra ekwan no na accident bi into mu gina ye no and na cars be gina bus na chi and the bus driver had the presence of mind to say sankrofo ne de eja tuato into o catch the mate ni so omo nantin ko bend mu kakra na kwa ya nhwe ye no tu no oba eja wo de beba no ontimi enyina ampa wo mutu anamoko ekuta torchlight anadwo midnight awo ekuta torchlight no akwa ni pie ye no a odija ne ba no de torchlight ye se wonyina and wo saw top lights no aye fog light na bo spotlight no o so ni mienu say ohunze ni pai cars gina ho timi nyina no and onu di wuram how could the bus driver tell say akwan ya ankwani mu ankogina na wo ba wontimi nyina na ampa wontimi nyina na ode awuram
ofa e mean say bus driver no wasua ade na wo hu o experience ene onim ni nkrofo a onom nam kwan so because o mo de da bi o mo koba o mo ni mo suban nti driver no utimi say na ni instinct em so no so obompa ye pa nti utimi say na adwene mu no bibi kasa kire no na sabe nka me kin atwama wi a wo de wa akire nka me dwene ho be dwene ho but utimi dwene say akwa die
omo se dom se di tumreka no
ha sei
ti ahwe gya wo
de ya ba be ku ye nyina nti wo de ba be ku ye nyina nti ne ye nkonko stop no na mpa so omuduru ho a ene say doyen onyina no kra no otimi nyina o
anu nti
otimi nyina
wo de ko wuram
wo de be wuram omutiri ne ye so wanya na adwene say so no o highlight fog light
spotlight sa spotlight on airline no section 65 road safety for any approach for because say sa spotlight no because obiesa to ani so a hunu she
around February nim na me kukuma se saa me duru baabi me kyese spotlight yi akwai o ba mi na no so you nyese no aso ba no obi so yi afa ne ho na ne husie na efiri ne nkyɛn ba sei no a block sei me road no ofa me hu ya me hu se car light bi throw smoke ni mu na no me ko nkyɛn na yew
no besne ko he
nka saa the other one yi fa ne ho no nyame nkon kukume
John
enye se na me very careful ewo na ya na adwo so
on the highways
go nkokume
the dear betimi aya me anya the same trashing as nipa wu here under corona
of I think say sa cars na ye omuwo that top speed no e was say before say be mo license and say be renew omo roadways no omo enti omo speed ne so because all companies na big companies no more tracks
and man they put pressure on them
no say sometimes I don't know woman uko speed na o accelerate kura na so untimi na no a mouse signal but what I say and sometimes you trackers
about the need the an say
you trackers
you met next time on choose o truck ni bi o choose truck e ba be drum tem
but one thing is say e ba say so a e fa o man ni nyina ho e fa o ho e fa me ho ye ni ase bra ye kasa ho enti no the o man no e was say ye e dey prevent such accidents no e no was say ye enye man no mo pe omune mantem e dey akodwa man so akoton no e na nye driver na o pentem akọ deliver ne ma no ama na nye sika no ehun na wo se ye dwene wo se ye dey policy ba na DVLA omo institute that measures said ye be ya cars na omo identify cars na e wo that top speed no omo hwe number of hours omo betimi they travel omo journey probably sometimes a track ye be track here the trackers be bo ho kra na I think say better said ye be ya at the end of the day Oliver Crono, all tremor police will be able to read the tracking system. I heard speeder. Why? Yes, Uber be drew one BB. I bet no so. Because drivers will be any baby a police for Jena. And you know, or be drew up will be slow down. Into the way it heard as well. But said machine be tracker be bohun. That's a police no, and I'm say you identify or mono. Police ni bi anim say sa cars we mu de omukuta speed nti sa cars we so sa tracker bi ebi wo mu a police ni oduru hon ma the first thing the police be checking and that tracker no eso ehu the speed a odeba na otimi apprehend
me musa George so about then you the same level of traction you nya for corona as a result of people dying road accident mo
nanado
be dia ne
Of ADAKABRI before me ba ho no me pe se me de futu kakra ma aban no say o man ninko youth enterprise support o man ninko opportunity industrialization center o man ni you don't know OIC it was established in 71 it has been there for long o man ninko ho aban dada no di mu akotre pa ma mabrunya eduma ye I'm telling you o man ninko this community information centers Oman Ninko Youth Leadership and Skills Training Institute. Youth in Agribusiness. And Oman Sasana Yeno. What's it then? Agri Deben. Free Akutu. Oh, Gratis Foundation. Oman Ninko Gratis Foundation. Na Rural Enterprise Program. And a National Vocational Training Institute, NVTI. These are the institutions are able to be create employment. He unstoppable boosting production. He should boost employment. No ye no. So uko boost u discuss ko sheda ko farm sa. E production na be cost ro anya employment.
Okay.
Mami come say so.
Now who produce?
You comment on the nipa ewu on the highways. Yamanin comment. Yamanin comment nipa ewu.
ADAKABRI asefim. You see nipa ehwere won kwa ewo accident mu no ADAKABRI say wo hwe statistics na you be surprised the rate of nipa wu accident no ben abnormal enye correct but I wonder why yentumi nya sa yawo no sa tima no emfam fight accident Adakabe na waka na sɛnea yɛko coronavirus yɛ bae hwɛ anamo a yɛtu wɔ Ebola ho those yare na ba hwɛ anamo a yɛtu wɔ ho but look as if anamo a yɛtu wɔ accident ho no iswa Adakabe we are not invested hwɛ about 2 decades now we have not taken yɛmfa yɛn akwan sɛm serious. The politicization of road construction in this country, no, just say Adakabre, bad, and it is worsening our situation. And more man couldn't him to politicize. We are politicizing Yakwang. Akwanga for 20 years near see you know. Yeah, the politics in tea. You just have kwani hunama, kwana ye basa. And I yet free a cuckoo damn.
Sorry, who can say? Maybe I'll move ye, yes, a kwani you. Baby accident is seen annually, and your quanya knew. A quanya a year a dazzle.
A road markings wall.
And I soon need
a double. A double line, double white line. It just said, do not cross that line.
Ben, I agree with you. Oh, I agree. Look, I agree with you. When you make an what I say, MPB who were some time ago. What's it, final? Because of the road. What's a baby is saying, baby is saying, over the years, I will come there. But you see, I'm talking about
indisciplined drivers.
You see,
because a higher spotter.
Exactly.
We are talking about indisciplined driving. If the driver will be disciplined, so be on your discipline. And you can't know Namoso no so can be.
Yabi, adwene be ne wo say driver for nim say particular truck should be aba. Your friend a DAF SF, a DAF CF. Now one mu de a jet triap papa. I'm say ta adwene no. O di free him.
You see, Adakabe, the thing is that driving and kasano. You see, a problem. Now no, me driving test be what I say now about the amber no ne. You feel say the red, gold, green. Emma Mikase. Red yellow nature say get ready to stop, so you can't stop with the yellow hammer. Yeah, home education kakra. You see, we are lacking all those things. Education also one of the things. I say road signs. Yeah, dear drivers. Majority of the drivers holding steer don't take into consideration. When you road sign, bebre nankasa you road sign. Adakabe no kware. Inka obi you road sign. Then na careful mu uko speed. Aye den na careful mu ko speed and aye den na won hu say won atro bi a 50 we say 50 km per hour and e bi a 20 km per hour na ukobro sa na niama ben so nhihye ben na wo ho a ye de ato ho a e check sa niama ni nyina say na make what you say Adakabe sometimes me hu cars bi wo kwan so a I ask how they got their road wet me hu cars bi wo kwan so a baby say isu na road wet no ebo animu pa fiti cars na fiti of very saying fiti cycle kwa chibo
indiscipline
we just stay and say just
obi a yaye overhead crossings ewo highway na okuta truck so normal wo so abeka ha say baby kra na odi na akoka ewo ase na ewo say prosifo efre highways near free na yekone yekoko twifri ase. Did you see that picture?
So do we punish people for that?
Do
we punish people for that? Adakabe onim say under bridge na wo Islegon no. Under bridge na wo Islegon no. What the baby aboho a what the height limit na boso. The ma kasa wo ko beyond that height no they cannot. Ka bia ko fase ebu pillar na wonga ye no.
We say na make here. Now I received this from a source at the Ghana highways. Into source at the Ghana highways. I send a picture of the Bremen. And the Nyame Fache board card registration WR 1546U. And or indicated that they've been arrested by the police. My brother, I'm saying ish. So then I sent a message. So, as he may be in breach of the Road Traffic Act, his insurance should be made to pay out for third-party damages therein. Indiscipline and ignorance, killing us. And the source said,
no, but
again, I don't know how we can communicate enough of this to allow our people to wise up. Say, Wow, what me load? Yes, 5 meters.
Was sell for more than that.
What me force? Would you quasi and sube huno? No one force why you go Wurasi.
Adakabre, me say it's legon under bridge no. Nefa a motorway na se no. Ye bu that there na. Wonga yesi wo se height limit. Wonga ebu da ho sisi ya me no kase. Ebu ato ho ma police fu a wo ho na boa ma wonga peja dade na to nchen. Ba won san erect sa dade ni biom. So the offenders, how do they punish them? Because at the end of the day no, we say car be apem traffic light nebu na da ho for months. Na traffic light ni fix it.
Police station.
Yes, na traffic light nebu da ho.
Traffic light impo. We say no street light no. And the street light na free na ebu na pointed to the road. And it's been there for 90 days.
Nobody will talk about it.
Just a obi count
na a creative problem. A wo na fi wo say apedi ye kwakwa ye nwade.
Ko fanko no. Sa meta no mo de asisi road no medo no. Ba ku bi emse ka bi bom na apia ba fa so sei. Ofa wonam ho no ma woni beba ho a so wadru. Unyo obi a wonim sa kwan na onhwe da ko de be kwa kotwitwi. Because abakwan nim.
Na we ebom no enti and then they install cameras. And then can you say there? I didn't na car near insured that. My insurance company
to take care of that.
Now insurance company need to we are or could insurance. No more the account.
Adakabre police in be fetch akwa ko Jessica.
Ako Jessica.
Mr. Obe Jessica finipa na accident na odi apim electric pole and say odi apim traffic light na ebu no. Obe fetch na ye kana na Jessica. And you see, I say we need to change our attitude and character in this country.
E be adwuma ofa. But e so eku and then moto na asema me boldin no. Obehwe no, yesi moto ena akronfo ediku nipa.
Timothy haya. Adakabe na wa. Ebe say wi ana na wo office.
Policefo mahu se nansen, o ma sorry o ma mu yusu moto so. But the omni say utwi moto keke bra na ye gina wa. Ombusa road worthy, obusa license, no obusa insurance. Ofa as to say moto na onipa krode kon bag na ebo na chi no tedie ne wom okuta sa na ma miensen ebi nko ade a obetwuma ko enti so obi e de bag bo na chi na owo etuo hyemu a no onya sa na ma miensen ma police fo a ofa e kire so onkonko di bone obi so ho no ma indeed o e delivery obi wo hon ma ebi okada ya yesi o mamunye ebi anu bi na oye we a new person oye but enam say ebi oni licenses oni your friends road worthy oni mu ba ko pe eno ye bete no na de eniema wo say ye hwehwe pa na timi de bre niema ase because first taxi bus wo no na kronfo de taxi bo krono sa na moto abaso ya kronfo de moto e bo krono menyi ni say sa time no ye should declare say omo yusu taxi no omo nyina anye
final comment
na ben sisi amenoti
okay final comment
debi sisi amenoti se mi kura moto
final comment
na me fa ofi mo bisi moto na chi
then we move on
na me de uko madina
okay
any offense
final comment dey pon na say final comment on the accident
final comment dey pon
debi
okay better say ni ya da na force wa say akonya a omo de ama president Akufo-Addo ene NPP yesro omo say adwuma ye boye a ye kyekere omo mu nsensem yi ankrofo bi omo ne aniswade hunu no ka but omo ntimi ma ye good solution to it no Ganafo emma enhwe de omo ye omo hwe de omo ye anu nti Ganafo edi pam wo omo no omo hwe de ye se ebe mamma buru adwuma se nwuma eguo no ye beboa na enwuma nya ya revive omo ya revamp omo na enwuma na time gina omo na so omo timi afa nkrofo wa adwuma mamma buru nya adwuma no na Gana yi die atimi aye fefefe no eno no omo hwe so na edu 2024 a omo mo ye nipa bi a NPP de ne baba bia no Gana fo enhye sa enmunyam omo ye ni so diam aban ye NPP aban ayama wo mo
the issue is that I want to urge the IGP I want to urge the IGP wabano onfa ne 19 fem
obonabaso se de oye wasate ye na
ye ma binuma ekoso road blocking Adakabre ne ya block kwan meba pacho ne ya block kwan na wodi ye yi eno so asechire den ya block kwan a access road.
Alright, fair comment. Fair comment.
Na ya wo se wo ye ya into message.
Yeah, pass them from George Nash now of the NDC, near parts of the Benediction of the MPP. Ugusuti Nit 100.9 FM. ADAKABRI Mahmoud Usuma and Amidi Jumedi Hochame. Panyuko Juda Miadu Demisi about him. Na Major Sajima Boni Chidom. Na Nina Emono. Na Ulako Kumaika, what you be